wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Can you hear me, Road Dogg? Because I can't hear you, Big Dog. I can't hear you, Road Dogg. What's up, Wrestle Talk? It's Tuesday night, baby. My man Road Dogg is sitting there giving an introduction. No one was hearing him. Can you hear me, Road Dogg? Give me a thumbs up, big bro. All right, because I can't hear you. So I know my audio is coming in clear because I heard that introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. It is 7 p.m. And that only means one thing. The best damn live pro wrestling podcast in the game today is ready to roll and do what we do best, and that's talk professional wrestling. So good evening to everybody. Road Dogg, are you with me, bro? Nah, man. I'm not getting nothing, Big Dog. I'm not hearing nothing there, Road Dogg. Listen, Triple H took over, and now, mics are getting messed up. And I had the mic with Paul Heyman a couple weeks ago. Hey, Raw was great last night, but what's up with these mics here? I don't hear you, Road Dogg. Oh, man, that's no bueno, sir. Listen, why don't you try to get out, come back in? Let's try that, Road Dogg.
Hey, you know what? You know what? I've done this on so many Zoom meetings before. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely, baby.
I was freaking on mute. I've done that so many Zoom meetings. I apologize. So I hope everyone can read lips. We're talking about episode 408 of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. So
absolutely. So what's up, Road Dogg? It's Tuesday night, baby.
It's Tuesday night, and you are this close to your favorite season of the year, football.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know there's people out there who are watching who are pro wrestling diehards. Myself, I'm a pro wrestling diehard, but I'm equally, not 51, 49%, equally 50-50, a football diehard. College football, NFL. My 12-year-old son's starting football this year. I'm going to be at every game, be the loudest one out there. So, NFL season, college football season, football is in the air, baby. I'm ready.
Oh, what's your college football team? I don't think we've ever talked about that. What's your college football team?
I really don't have one, Road Dogg. I really don't have one that I can just set my claws in and say, yeah, this is it. I mean, I like Penn State. I like Rutgers. I like the Florida Gators. I like the Seminoles. I know Night Owl's a big Florida State Seminoles fan. I went out to a KU football game. KU's not that good in football as they are in basketball, but that was fun. You know what I mean? I don't have my set sight. I don't have a certain college football team. I love college football. Arguably, I think I like college football maybe even a little bit more than the NFL.
I've heard people say that they like the college football scene more than they really like the NFL. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it.
Rules are slightly different. With the NFL, it's more of an even playing field. So, let's put it in wrestling terms. College football is like WWE versus indie guys. Mm-hmm. Sometimes them indie guys are going to, have a miracle upset. They're not as talented. They don't have as big name or as much money. But sometimes them indie guys get an upset on the WWE guys. So that's kind of what that's equated to the pro wrestling world, my friend.
I tell you, but we've got two great guests. We're going to talk to the people from XWE in the first hour, and we're going to talk to El Primo in the second hour.
Yeah, baby.
So I know you're probably pumped up for XWE. And that's one of your home promotions. But you know what? Some of the Kansas girls are actually coming to the St. Louis area here soon.
I seen that.
Stormy Renee, and there's another one, and it's escaping me at this point. But they're coming in for the MMWA women's title. They're going to they're bringing back the MMWA women's championship. So they need some. So they went to the. Where else do you go when you look for talent? The Kansas. Yep. Yeah, Stormy. We've had her on the show before.
Yes, we have.
The other one is Shylin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, Shylin. And listen, everybody over there in that St. Louis area, do yourself the favor. Go see Shylin. Go see Stormy Renee. Okay, these girls are kicking ass over in Western Kansas and XWE. I know they dipped their toes down there into Oklahoma. They came over here a little bit towards the Kansas City side a couple weeks ago with a show over in Leavenworth, Kansas, not that far from Money Mayo's mansion. I was there. Night Owl was there. Stormy Renee, man, she's everyone's favorite Storm. And you'd have to go see her live in person to see why she has that moniker, because she lives up to it, man. She's a killer in the ring. So
I'm looking forward to it. I might be heading to that. I might be heading to that show because Dynamo's off until the end of September. So I might be heading out there, seeing some of my friends. Someone's going to win some gold. That St. Louis gold might be heading to Kansas. We don't know.
Hey, we never know. You never know what's going to happen at one of these independent pro wrestling shows, man. That's why it's, you shouldn't just tune in to Wrestle Talk podcast on Tuesday nights. You should go spend that $10, $15, $20 admission. Go in and go see some local pro wrestling action. Because, listen, Road Dogg, you can attest to it too. There's been so many stars 5-10 years ago that were on these local shows. And yeah, some shows you might only have 20 people in the building. Some shows you've got more. But there's every show there's going to be a star who one day is going to be on TV more than likely. And whether that's in a big role or a small role, they're still going to be on TV because there's a lot of talent, independent professional wrestlers in the United States, all over the world. And hey, Road Dogg, hopefully down the road we get to cover some more people around the world more. I know we've dipped our toe into Canada, Mexico, so on and so forth. But I need you to get on the plane and start scouting over in Finland, all right?
I tell you, I'd be welcome over there because people. I know some people over there. But you watch the Edge documentary and you look where he came in, and they showed his first match. I believe it looked like there was maybe 25 people there, maybe at most. I mean. And they had the best time of their life, probably. So I mean, I love independent shows just as much as the big name shows. But those independent shows, that you're going to see them, and then you're going to see them on TV later, and be like, I remember I was in a American Legion Hall or Selena Fieldhouse or seeing those people. So. Well, you know what, Sonny? We wouldn't be anywhere on the Wrestle Talk podcast if it wasn't for our sponsors. You know that.
I know that, brother. I know that.
So let's go ahead and pay homage to our sponsors here. We got Royal Mills Transportation, Dewan Mills, the CEO, Rathbun Engraving, got those original Wrestle Talk podcast mugs. Reach out to any members of the podcast. We'll get you hooked up. Nolan Barbershop, Casey, Missouri. I might need to come out there and get this.
Come on, man. You got to go see Pete the Barber.
I got to see Pete the Barber. Kincaid Arcade at Oak Park Mall. Everything Combat with our friends, the UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich and the one and only Jay Hollywood. Interstate 70 Sports Media, the Maestro, my co-host last week, Jeremy Karp, and the one and only FWWC, the premier fantasy wrestling group. So I mean, are we ready for these 2 hours? I mean,
I've been ready. I've been hyped, bro. I got out of bed this morning. I damn near did a Shawn Michaels kip up out of bed because I knew it was Tuesday. I couldn't wait for the night. I wish it wasn't just 2 hours, man. I could go 8 hours. You know, I got my coffee going, so you know I go all night. I'm Energizer Bunny over here. So
we're gonna ask that question in just a little bit. So have that number in mind.
Absolutely.
But you know what? We can't really start the show without our tradition that we like to do here, because we like to honor this great country that lets us do this every week.
Yep.
So if you're wearing any kind of hat, where we ask that you please, nice haircut.
Thank you.
We ask that you please remove it. Let me break out my little flag right here.
Yep.
As we honor our country with the singing ish of our national anthem. Oh. Oh. That is both beautiful and
it's beautiful. No, it ain't nothing else. It's beautiful. As far as I'm concerned, just because she did that back in 1989, they need to carve a fifth face in the Mount Rushmore and put Roseanne Barr up there with those other 4 presidents, because that was so beautiful. And you are only going to hear that exclusively on Wrestle Talk Podcast. There ain't no other pro wrestling podcast playing Roseanne Barr as the national anthem.
Oh, I think Jeremy Carp just had another aneurysm. I think every time he knows we're about to play, I think he has an aneurysm.
He'll be okay, Road Dogg. I promise you, he's gonna be all right. I promise, he'll be okay. He'll be fine.
So, Sonny, are you ready to get into the heart of the show?
Oh, dog, I'm ready for this, and I know we got some good ones tonight.
Is that a Boosie's? Is that a Bucky's cup?
Boosie's? Yeah, hey, Bucky's. Shout out to Bucky's. Listen, for the longest time, East Coast born, Philly, Jersey represent. What's up? Mad shout out to Wawa out there. Quick Trip has held me down in my darkest times here in the Midwest. But yo, Bucky's took number 1 in my heart, bro. When you pull up and there's 200 gas tanks there, that's amazing. Okay, that's nothing short of amazing.
I have heard Bucky's is an experience all of its own.
Absolutely.
That you could probably spend hours in that place.
You absolutely can, and you could spend a ton of money in there, really just buying like just beef jerky and sausage, and it's wild. It's wild, man. But you know what? Enough about Bucky's. Shout out to Bucky's, great gas station. Let's get this thing started. How about it, Road Dogg? Let's do it.
You know what? Let's just get right into it. It's time for the Wrestle Talk Podcast High Spots.
Mic check. Yeah. All right. Wrestle Talk Podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like clear chops. We talk shop, coming through the screens of a laptop and non-stop like a runner speakers of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops, like a clock flash, look like a belly flop. Now that's hard. We up to speed while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk Podcast. Now they know we about to start the show.
Boy, just like he said it at the end of that song with those lyrics, we're about to start the show. Now, listen, we've been live 10 seconds short of 15 minutes, but this is where we get into the beast of the belly here, all right? We get into the belly of the beast, however you want to word it. This is it, man. I'm so excited about High Spots tonight. So, Road Dogg,
I think we got some good we got some good questions, but
we got good shit.
But
you just said it. We got some good shit.
We got some
good shit coming.
So, but first question, I know it's on everybody's mind. What's your coffee?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Sunny Money coffee meter. How many cups? Well, let's see. We did 2 this morning on the way out the door. We've done 2 since we've been home, and then I made 1 because it's showtime, baby. So we're on 5.
Nice.
5 time.
So,
Smoking drinking champion of the pro wrestling podcast, the best damn live pro wrestling podcast in the game today.
So at break time, you're probably going to go have cup 6.
We're going to be looking at 6. I'm going to be looking at 6 before hour number 1 is up. I'm going to be shooting for 7. Our goal's 7 tonight. So
gotcha.
All
right. So let's pull the collars down, get serious here for a minute. So we're going to talk about AEW tomorrow night. We got a big match coming up in Cleveland, which
Yep.
I find that Johnny Gargano coming back on Monday is a little interesting. We can talk about that just a little bit. But this question was sent in by Sonny, and we're going to talk about are they fast tracking Punk and Moxley for TV to pop the ratings? That's what I assume that you're going to mean by that. Pop the ratings.
Yeah.
Because they haven't drawn over 1 million in a while. They're right at that 920, 940.
They just can't get past that threshold.
And it's only when they have the really big matches is when they seem to hit the 1.1. Whereas Raw this past week drew a little over 2 million viewers.
Yep.
And they're consistently hitting that high 1.9 to 2.5, depending on the week. They're going to lose a little bit because of Monday Night Football. That's just
a given. Sorry, bro. NFL's king in the United States, dog. All right, so.
But you wanted to compare Punk versus Moxley to Hogan and Goldberg. Are they going to regret giving that match? Now, I'm gonna have you answer it, then I'm going to have a retort because I think I know what's going on.
Okay.
So go ahead and give what you.
So let's start it off by this. So people in the comments section. Shout out to Billy Simmons. What's up, buddy? I can't wait for you to be on here momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, please stick around. Our first guest of this on Wrestle Talk Podcast, episode 408, is the one and only Billy Simmons of XWE. I can't wait to have him on, Road Dogg. That's going to be a great interview. But back to the question here, the real first high spots question of the night. So before we get down into the gritty of this, I just want this to be known to everybody in the comment section, whether you're watching Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. I am not putting Moxley Punk on the level of Hogan Goldberg. Their stars are not that big, all right? This ain't WCW 1998. This ain't the Monday Night Wars. Road Dogg, you just named off the ratings numbers. It ain't what it was back then. It ain't the glory years, okay? Now, the reason I did ask this, though, is because I honestly believe that AEW is doing this strictly based on ratings. One, strictly based on ratings, and that's a big one. And two, the reason I believe they are doing this, Road Dogg, is because at the upcoming All Out pay-per-view, I believe AEW is going to go into a bag of a surprise. They are known for surprises. They're known for debuts, so on and so forth. So, to me, I give Tony Khan credit on some things. Not everything he's done. There's some shit that I don't like. I love AEW. I love that style of wrestling. It's more of the 21st century spot fest. Yes, they do tell stories, but they're not afraid to throw a pile driver on TNT, as WWE is kind of like, let's worry about CTE. So, mad shout out to AEW, but they are known for surprises, and Tony Khan has done a good job of bringing people over into AEW. And hey, big lights, shining bright debut. The problem is after they debut, it just kind of. So, with all that being said, yes, I believe AEW is going to regret this because this is a big money match. Do you agree with me on that, Road Dogg?
It is a big money match, and I honestly think that this match is going to end up being some kind of a big schmaz where there's no real winner. We're still going to have the AEW World Champion CM Punk. We're still going to have the stupid AEW Interim World Champion John Moxley. That goes on a whole other tangent. I hate interim champions, and I blame UFC for that because they're the ones that did the interim champions thing. So now we have to unite the belts.
Yep.
but I think something's going to happen, and it's still going to the actual unification match isn't going to be until All Out. I could be wrong, and maybe it's a possibility that CM Punk is a little bit more injured than he's letting on, and he doesn't want to. I can't see CM Punk being this guy from what I've heard and read, but I can't see him being someone looking for the better of the company than himself. But that's just me.
Right.
I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. So is this going to be to drop the belt to Moxley? However, you're only going to have 1 week to build to a world title match at All Out, because it happens the following week. It happens on the 4th.
And I mean, again, Road Dogg, like you said, and like I said, Brody, they're so big on the whole ratings thing and everything, ratings, that I believe that, they're kind of probably stepping back and looking at it and going, listen, the formula, even though we're waving our flag and saying it's working, obviously by those ratings numbers, it's really not at this point. Maybe not what they expected. I think that they expected that $1.5 million a week, and they're just not getting that. You know what I mean? So.
And it's a Wednesday night. It's kind of, I mean, they were when they were beating NXT. I mean, but that was what at the age where Triple H was stepping away, and
right.
So it's just one of those. It's one of those things, and I mean, I don't get it. Maybe I guess we'll just have to tune in and find out. But I still think Moxley and Punk will probably main event All Out with some kind of a stipulation.
It could happen. It could happen. And you know what, Road Dogg? They might throw some swerve where it doesn't even happen next week. They might just hook, line, and sinker to get everybody in on the show, and then in the middle of the show, they're just like, it ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? But you know what? And let's start getting ready to bounce to the next question, because I want to put the cherry on top of this. Road Dogg, you and I both watch a lot of pro wrestling. We watch documentaries, we watch TV series, so on and so forth. What is one of the common things when they're always talking about WCW, particularly Goldberg? They're talking about one of the biggest regrets is them putting that match on live TV. That was a money-making match that should have been on pay-per-view. Now, if they're hedging their bets, if AEW is hedging their bets like they are on this whole storyline of Punk versus Moxley, and it's a good storyline. I always enjoy the title versus title, same title. I always enjoy that storyline.
And that little bit of realism that's in there, too.
Yeah, man. And that's another thing about AEW. Shout out to them. I mean, they do a little bit more shooting than WWE does. And, hey, and the smart Mark like myself, I enjoy that shit. I just don't want AEW to come back and say, man, we shouldn't have put that on TV. You know what I mean? I don't want them to do that. And hey, again, something's telling me that something's going to happen at the next pay-per-view that, like you said, it could be them two again, a smaller finish next week. But something's telling me, I'm trying to listen at the bottom of my cup here, that I believe there's going to be a debut at that pay-per-view that's going to kind of shake this whole picture up. And I think
or a re-debut, as Assad says. Maybe MJF is going to come back. Apparently the negotiation times for Warner Media is coming up. So they're going to try. I bet these next few Dynamites and maybe even the next few Rampages are going to be stacked, because they're going to want to make sure they have. But when you look at the viewership of SmackDown versus the viewership of Rampage, it drops from 2 million to almost 500. No, I haven't seen a number over 500,000 for Rampage in a while. So,
yeah.
And Rampage started off hot with big matches. Now you're getting what Rampage probably should be. It's kind of a build the lower tier story, not the main event. The main event storylines get built on Dynamite. The middle of the card, front of the card gets built on Rampage.
Yeah, man. No, absolutely.
And I just think that's it. And I want your opinion, because this kind of goes in, because Dynamite's in Cleveland this week. Who's from Cleveland? Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Wrestling, baby.
Johnny Wrestling. I mean, I will admit, I was completely shocked because I follow wrestling. I follow wrestling writers on Twitter.
Absolutely.
I follow the wrestling websites. You know,
Yeah,
to get my news.
right.
No one had this.
No
Absolutely zero.
No.
How do you sneak someone into a country, a different country, and have absolutely no one leak it or know it?
Yep.
It's kind of to a point. It's not to the top of that, but it's kind of like at the 2020 Royal Rumble when Edge came back. I legit screamed like a schoolgirl because
what's funny is and you have to ask the one this next time he's on Wrestle Talk podcast. Him and I were standing right next to each other at eSports watching the Royal Rumble, and as the clock came on the screen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I looked the one dead in his eye and I said, "It's going to be Edge," and I called that one. So I always tip my hat on that.
I was not expecting that because the last you heard of anything about Edge is he was going to be injured.
Yep. So let me answer this question here because I know we got Billy Simmons coming up soon. I know he's going to be backstage soon, so I want to keep this thing rolling. Listen, Johnny Gargano, big fan, massive fan. How could you not be? And even before WWE and NXT, what he was doing on the independent professional wrestling scene is he was making a name for himself that when he came to NXT, everybody already knew who he was. A lot of other people did that, but he's done it purely on what he's done in the ring. Yes, he has personality. Yes, he's good on the mic. Yes, he has a good gimmick, so on and so forth. But that man is a technician in the ring. So, again, Road Dogg, like you said, you sneak him in the country. Dave Meltzer didn't say nothing about it.
Sean Ross Sapp for Fightful didn't have anything.
No one had nothing on it, bro.
It wasn't on the leaked story because apparently the run sheet gets leaked and it's almost correct. I mean,
right. Yeah, of course. There's always tweaks here and there, but you know what? That is right there. Him coming out and that music hitting and everybody. That is pro wrestling, folks. That's what it's about, man.
And I am so glad they used the Rebel Hearts theme.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And if that doesn't prove that you should change Tommaso Ciampa's music back to No One Will Survive.
Yep.
I can't tell you that.
I'm over here, and you know what? And Drew McIntyre is a big fan of it on Twitter, man. We need Broken Dreams back, man. But Drew McIntyre's original theme, that theme is so killer. That thing's so hard. I put that on.
Some people say that he's going to come out to Broken Dreams at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah, I think he will. I think it'll happen. I think it'll happen. So hey, man, we both agree on this, right? We're both extremely excited. I think the pro wrestling world is excited. Shout out to Assad there in the comment section. He's commenting. He's in on the show. He's just as excited as you and I are, Road Dogg. I mean, Johnny Gargano he's good.
Assad remembers Johnny Gargano.
Pro wrestling. Yep, absolutely, man. Yeah,
and he's been in St. Louis before, St. Louis Anarchy. So has Tommaso Ciampa. When High Risk Wrestling was running shows, they had a whole bunch of talent that is actually on WWE now. So I mean, you never know who you're gonna see.
Just like I said in the beginning of this whole thing, brother. Just like I said, you never ever know who you're gonna see. So go do that, man. I'm not gonna. This ain't the shoot and shout segment, so I'm not gonna get hyped about it right now. I've said my piece to multiple people. A lot of people who I work with at my shoot job come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you like wrestling, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You mean like WWE?" Sorry, got excited. They said like WWE. I said, "Of course." I said, "Hey, there's a great show around the corner tonight. $10 to get in." Nah. But guess what happens when WWE comes into town? Go ahead and drop that $40, $50. All right. And hey, I do too. So I'm not dissing them for it. But I'm just trying to explain to them that there's so much great wrestling besides WWE, besides AEW, besides New Japan. Go support your local independent promotion, man, because no matter where you go in America, you could go 50 miles from any direction. More than likely, you're going to find some good wrestling by you. So,
absolutely. And so many wrestlers are like, post the picture. I've seen the picture happen. It's like if you want to support me to get to the big arenas, like they show the WWE arena.
Yep.
Do it at like an Armory or a Legion Hall, and which kind of brings me up to NWA 74 this weekend. Some of the people that me and you mutually know, Team Ambition, the Quad Father Camaro. Can we just talk about Camaro Jackson and those quads? I mean, he's built like a brick. He's built like a brick shithouse, basically.
Yeah, no, he is,
and you see them in Kansas before. So
listen,
yeah,
I'm a grown man. All right, I'm a 35-year-old grown man. I would be, and I'm not lying to you folks, I would be dead ass scared if Camaro Jackson grabbed me and physically put me in between his legs, in between those quads, because I really believe he's breaking my neck. He's breaking my neck. Like, for those folks who don't know who we're talking about, do us a favor. On break, tonight after the show, or if you got another computer or something by you, Google Camaro Jackson. Google the Quad Father. Them legs are like, dog. They're like this. This is my head, and this leg is like wild.
And he's going to be teaming with another member of Team Ambition that we've known for many, many, many years.
And I've seen that man go through war, man. And
Mike Outlaw,
the one and only Mike Outlaw, man. I've seen Mike Outlaw leave more pieces of his body in community centers and arenas than any human should. That man he was kicking ass 10 years ago when I started watching him, and he still comes out and brings that heat, brings that noise. He's going to be at CSW, Central States Wrestling, I believe, this weekend for Horseman Country. And even if he's not there, Outlaw's around Kansas City, bro.
I seen Outlaw's very first match.
Yeah, man.
It was against another person you probably are familiar with. It was against Jake Durden at I believe SICW. It was 3 minutes. Jake Durden killed him. But look at him now. 1 year in, he won the Dynamo Pro Heavyweight Championship. So
yep. And it much deserved, man. And that's a major shout out to Mike Outlaw. And listen, folks, I don't want you to think that I'm blowing smoke up anybody's ass. All this credit that I'm giving out is definitely due for not only Camaro Jackson, but also Mike Outlaw and a lot of hard-working wrestlers, professional wrestlers over there in St. Louis. I mean, they put on some damn good shows. They got the technique. They care about their craft, man, and it shows. They give it to the fans.
Also, Tootie Lynn is going to be part of the. You've seen Tootie wrestle before, so
absolutely, and
you probably even seen Trevor Murdoch wrestle before. I mean, he was in WLW, so it's going to be a great weekend here in St. Louis. But so Sonny, I'm looking at backstage. We've got not only one guest, but we've got two guests backstage, and I'm going to let you handle the introductions of our people from XWE. We got both Billy and Rusty backstage. So
yeah.
So if you want to go ahead and take the introduction, I'll let you go ahead and do that, and I will. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. There we go.
We're moving, we're dodging, we're going.
Sorry,
ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you for tuning in to episode 408 of the Wrestle Talk podcast on your Tuesday night. Right now, it is my utmost pleasure to bring in not only one, but two special guests. They're both repping Salina, Kansas, the other side of the state from where Money Mayo is at, but I happily make that 3-hour drive to go see them each and every time because our first guest is the owner of XWE, Mr. Billy Simmons, and the only guy you can trust next to him who's going to bring you that wrestling information down to the T, baby, Mr. Rusty Rex. Billy, Rusty, what's up, boys? What's up, baby?
Here we are, boy. Well, thank you for having us on here.
So I just want to say that my favorite day of the week is Fridays because Rusty will post on his Facebook page. He's like, "Hey, it's the first week. It's the first week of the month. What wrestling shows are you going to go to? What wrestling shows are in your area?" And everyone posts their posters. I posted posted Dynamo Pro Wrestling posters. Anything that's around here. So I appreciate that because we're looking out for each other. I mean, really, we all do the same thing. Why do we fight with each other? Am I right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good way to get promotion for every single promotion all across the country, all across the world, for everybody to know what's going on and go out and support your local independent organization, because there's a lot of good things that are taking place within your area. A lot of people aren't aware of it, and it's a good way to get the word spread.
So, well, Sonny, I'm gonna let you go ahead and let's talk about XWE Gold Rush that's coming up here. I believe in a couple of weeks. So, Billy, why don't you go ahead and give us some information on that show?
This weekend, buddy. This weekend, the 27th on Saturday, XWE presents Gold Rush in Salina, Kansas. Salina Fieldhouse. That venue is a beautiful venue. They treat us very, very well, and crowd always shows up and shows out. We have a stacked card for this show, and just looking to let everyone have a great time at an affordable price.
That's all the and on the poster I see someone that's actually coming to the St. Louis area here shortly, Stormy Renee. I will let both Rusty and Billy talk a little bit about, or either one of you want to talk about Stormy Renee. Give us what the St. Louis people need to know about Stormy Renee.
Billy, jump in there first, Billy, and then I'll piggyback right off that.
You ever watch the movie Twister?
Yeah, yes, I've seen it.
All right, so think of that tornado that comes through and it's just causing chaos everywhere. Stormy Renee is that chaos, but in a good way. She brings spunk, she brings talent, and she brings heart to every place she goes to. She is the current KWA Women's Champion, and she's held that title for over a year's time. She has fought in the likes of Miranda Gordy, Sarah Slack, many people from Oklahoma. She just fought people like Cameron Bernay. She fought a lot of different people, and just shows up every time. The crowd and kids love her. She's going to be an asset to any person or any company that brings her in.
Now, hold on. Before we go to you, Rusty, hold on. I want to make a note here on Stormy Renee, if you guys don't mind. So, Billy, and we'll talk about this a little bit also, buddy, but XWE just debuted in Leavenworth, Kansas. And we got to see Stormy Renee mix it up with a certain wine connoisseur, bro. And, yo, she held her own in there. Like, I knew Stormy was tough. Like, when I see Stormy, it's always mad respect, a big hug. I wouldn't want to piss her off. Now, again, like I said a couple minutes ago to my co-host Road Dogg here, I'm a grown-ass man. But I've seen what Stormy Renee does, bro. And just one elbow, I don't want no part of that, dude. So
I mean, one, you never want to piss off a woman.
No,
that's true. But so she took it toe to toe with Niles Ponquet.
Yeah, man, there was a tag team match, man, but in that match, you know what I mean? She got in there and she stood toe to toe with Niles, and you know Niles is a veteran. He's been around for 20 years almost. He's fought against a lot of people. Yo, Stormy Renee was taking it to him, man. I believe it. Major. Again, I just gave her kudos. I know she's dipping her toe over in the St. Louis area, and I'm so excited for her because it's much deserved for her. But yeah, Stormy Renee, man, she definitely holds her own. So Rusty, let's hear your thoughts on Stormy, buddy.
You've seen some of the storms that have come across the Great Plains of Kansas, and Stormy Renee comes directly. She's the heart of Hutchinson, and she brings that heart and fire to the ring every time she steps into it. Like Billy said, she's been the KWA champion since, April of 2021. So she's held that title, and she's not ducked anybody. You talk about all the challengers that she's had. She's even got into the ring with Drake Gallows at one point.
Yep.
She didn't duck him whatsoever. There were some words exchanged, and she fought him face to face. She's just a phenomenal talent. Very popular within the Kansas Wrestling Alliance, and we're very, very proud to have her all over the country. And to see that storm that takes place in this great state of Kansas every spring exuberates all throughout the summer. and Stormy Renee brings that same heart and passion to the ring every time she steps into it.
So it sounds like the odds are in her favor that the MMWA, the brand new MMWA Women's Championship here in St. Louis is coming back to the Kansas City area. Is that what I'm hearing here? the storm's going to blow through.
Listen, when there's a storm belling for a belt, storm's coming through, and I'm a little biased on Stormy Renee. I did train the young lady, and she works hard every day. To this day, she comes to training 2 to 3 times a week. She's putting in the work in the gym. The kid is top notch, and she's ready to roll.
And I got to make a note on that, man. And I was just saying that's where it counts, Billy. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can show up to a show and expect to get on the show and do 5 or 10 minutes of, wrestling or whatever. But it's when the lights go off and you're not in the Salina Fieldhouse. That's where it matters. How much work you're putting in the gym, in the ring training, so on and so forth, man. And she's been nothing but gracious about it. So yeah, I'm excited to continue to see Stormy Renee progress, because that's all she's been doing, bro. Like, it's just been nothing but up for her. There's no spiraling, there's no downhill. She just keeps getting better each and every time she defends that title, man. So, but listen, I want to kind of keep it rolling here with XWE Gold Rush. Rusty, you already know. Billy, you already know. And Road Dogg, trust me when I tell you, this Salina Fieldhouse, every time XWE is in the Salina Fieldhouse, it is on and popping, man. Like, I don't even see how the roof is still on the building, because when you have great matches like what XWE puts on, dude, it's crazy in there. There's a match in particular I want to talk about, though. And once I get through this, Rusty, I want your thoughts on this first here, buddy. So you guys, XWE, decided to put on a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match. Bro, are you kidding me? You got Valencia White Paz. The tag team champion is the Rebel Hearts. This is my pick to win, and this is just a personal preference. But Chuy Martinez and Leo Fox, and you're finishing it off with Tobias Storm, James Moore, the main attractions. Rusty, what's Billy doing over here, bro? Like, he's gonna have the building destroyed with these guys in the ring.
There's some phenomenal tag teams right now in the Kansas Wrestling Alliance, and there was only one way the board of directors decided to come together and do this all in one night. Let's put them all in the ring. Let's put them all together. These are all the top contenders, not only here in the KWA and XWE, but around the country. What a way to do it in one night, one shot. The champions will be in the ring, 3 other teams. It's a great opportunity for each one. It's anybody's guess on this one. Now, I like them all in this one here. I have no favorites whatsoever. But I can tell you one thing, that the Rebel Hearts, as champions, they have been defending all over the country. You've seen an interview we had with them here just a few days ago. They were just out of a match defending it up there in Lincoln, Nebraska. Yeah. They are champions going all over the place, and they're phenomenal talent, but they got some big challengers in the ring right now with these other individuals that are going to be in the ring. I want to also touch, too, you talked about Salina at the Salina Fieldhouse. There's an absolute following in Salina for XWE Wrestling. I've seen that ever since I've been involved, and I know Billy's seen it from day one. You know, it's almost kind of like ECW in Philadelphia. It's almost kind of like St. Louis wrestling right there. You know, it's like Dallas, Texas, when World Class was so big down there. There's a following that's in Salina. You will feel that every time you come out to one of the XWE shows in Salina, Kansas. It's an absolute happening that's taking place. When I say follow the XW experience, I mean it. It's an experience that we had live and in person.
You're gonna have me wanting to make that several hour trip from St. Louis to come out and see you guys sometime. I feel like the field house in Salina might be similar to the ECW arena in Philly. I don't know. Sonny can probably talk better on that one since he's a Philly boy.
Nah, hey, listen, ECW, Kansas City, Salina, Kansas, it doesn't matter. If you put on as good shows as XWE does, bro, it's just a vibe. It's the atmosphere. And you know what? I completely agree with Rusty 1,000%. It's not just those fans who are just coming in and they're like, oh, we're just going to go watch pro wrestling on a Saturday night. There's diehard following in Salina, Kansas, and those surrounding cities. And I know personally because guess what? On intermission, I'm going outside. I'm taking a breather, getting fresh air, and those fans are outside talking about the show. They're not talking about, oh, I got to do this on Mondays. No, they're talking about like, oh my God, I can't believe Leo D just decided to become an asshole all of a sudden. He was a crowd favorite. Now this guy's an asshole. Like, what's going on with that? And you know what? So, Billy, we're going to lead it into that, and I'm going to kind of get your thoughts on that, man. I seen they dropped a video. Leo D, man, the crowd in Salina loved him. And how could you not, man? He had personality. He was kick-ass in the ring. And then in the words of El Mataratas, he decided to become a dirty, stinking rata. And he just went and said, oh, I'm going to hang out with the main attractions now. And now he's running around. He's running around with Calvin Aldridge. Like, what's going on here, bro? And now at XWE Gold Rush, see, now they're in some trouble because now they got to face Drake Gallows and a mystery partner. And, who knows who that mystery partner could be? It could be Doink the Clown. It could be Barry Horowitz. It could be anybody, bro.
It could be Sonny.
Yeah, it could. No, I ain't coming now. Fuck that, bro. I ain't Don't try to put me
that was actually my guess right there. I was thinking it was going to be you, Sonny. Now you don't disappoint me on it.
No. I'm just a big fan. And then whenever the board of directors needs me to come in and help ring announce, I happily do it because I just love XWE wrestling so much. But nah, dog, I'm not.
Why are you trying to steal my ring announcer gigs here? And
you haven't made it over to Western Kansas, bro. So not me. That's not me. But Billy, I got to get your thoughts on this whole Leo D and Calvin and main attractions, and these guys are almost as worse than the Empire, bro.
Oh, that's big shoes. Like, worse than the Empire. Salina crowd hates the Empire. Let's get on to the main attractions. I think that dirty, rotten Calvin Aldridge poisoned Leo D's mind. And let me explain. So for months, Calvin attacked him and beat on him and gave him this thoughts of the crowd didn't like him, the crowd didn't support him, to the point they put up this facade and got Drake Gallows to come back from being gone, comes back to tag team with Leo D just for him to turn his back on him. It makes no sense to me.
That's dirty pool. That's dirty pool.
It's 100% dirty pool, man. Like, I don't understand Leo's thoughts. Leo is a fantastic person, and he decided to just be an asshole.
Yep.
And join what he thinks is the top group in XWE, or will become the top group in XWE.
So is he just jumping on the train, or does he really think that he's going to be the leader of the train?
Honestly, I think it's him and Calvin leading the train together.
It could be, man. But listen, hey, we all know Leo D, and excuse my language here, but hey, I'm a host of this, so fuck it. Leo D fucked up, all right? Leo D fucked up. Dog, have you not? He's seen the wars that Drake Gallows has been through. Like, Drake Gallows don't have no concern about his body, bro. He will put his body through hell to make sure that you're going to hell with him. Like, he don't care. So I don't know what Leo's thinking wasn't on that. But, that's going to be an interesting match. And again, a mystery partner, bro. And you're not going to find out who it is unless you're in Salina Fieldhouse, unless you're in Salina, Kansas for XWE Gold Rush this Saturday night. So, you should be there because, hey, there's a lot of people in the wrestling world who got respect for Drake Gallows. And I'm sure there's a lot of people backstage who were probably going and getting in his ear and lining up and saying, hey, we seen what that asshole Leo D did. Maybe we need to come help you out. So who knows?
I'm seeing a lot of hate for Leo D. Now you got to understand, he had some decisions that he came to grips with and he made. Let's give Leo D a break. I think that what a tremendous combination now of Calvin Aldridge and Leo D. This right here, me and Night Owl go round and round on this.
I can understand why, Rusty.
Where is the Night Owl?
On this here, he's finally come to grips, and he's kind of seen the light. That's just my opinion on this whole thing.
Well, whatever, man. And I heard that question asked, where's the Night Owl? Night Owl's out getting me coffee right now. That's where Night Owl is. No, I'm just kidding.
Is he actually going to splurge on that, or is that the office coffee out there? Every time I'm with him, he won't splurge on anything.
Well, listen. Man, are you? Because apparently he said he's going to be on the call for this show. I mean.
Can he flip the quarter for it?
Oh man!
That's not much respect to Night Owl, but we do have differing opinions, and you will see that come out live when you watch us there at XWE, or watch some of us on the live XWE YouTube channel that we have. You'll get to see all the former matches that we've had, all the previous events, and you'll get to hear me and Night Owl go at it back and forth, one-on-one. And I'll give my little opinions too, which I usually feel are right anyway. But that is what it is.
Well, it sounds like Billy thinks some of your opinions might not be the best of opinions. I don't know because
that's what makes the Kansas Wrestling Alliance so colorful. We all come in here with differing opinions and different ideas, and that's what sets us all apart.
Nah, I believe it. We've had some shots fired tonight. Shots fired.
Well, I mean, listen. I don't agree with Rusty over here. All right, he's talking about this trying to. Leo D's an asshole, bro. And you know what? This XWE Gold Rush card. There's another asshole in this card. Excuse my language, but hey, we shoot here. All right. I'm gonna keep this card rolling because that's not just the only matches going on. We have a title match. More specifically, we have the United Liberty title match, and it's former champion Joey Gambino of the Empire coming to the ring with that no good Dick Richards, going against the champion Eugene. Who doesn't love Eugene, baby? Billy, tell me about it, bro. That's gonna be a great title match, isn't it?
It's gonna be fantastic, man. Eugene came in. This is his third show in a row with us. And he absolutely loves being in Salina, loves getting to see the Salina crowd. And last show, he beat Gambino 1, 2, 3.
I was there.
To become the United Liberty champion. Yeah. Gambino thinks that he can get that title back. I see a future of Eugene with XWE as the United Liberty champion.
Nice.
Yeah, Billy, wasn't there a little controversy that transpired in that too? Wasn't that? We tried to go back and get some of the footage and go and look at that 3 count there, but for whatever reason it disappeared. I don't know what happened to it, but
whoa. Are you saying that footage mysteriously disappeared?
I don't know. You know, some things happen sometimes around here.
Billy, you got anything to say about the footage?
He's saying footage disappeared. That's like he always says he never gets his hotel money and his fuel expenses money and stuff like that. We all know it's BS. It's just Rusty talking.
Oh man! I have to say this. Let's say this.
Shots fired!
It just went over my head.
Well, that's good. Listen, that's going to be a great match. Again, Billy, like you said, Salina loves Eugene. Who doesn't love Eugene, man? Eugene's he's an awesome personality. He's awesome in the ring. He beat Joey Gambino for that title. I was there. It was awesome. It was a great moment, bro. It was a goosebump moment. I am really legit. Shoot, honest to God, I really am excited for XWE Gold Rush, man. It's going to be a great show. Again, for those who didn't hear it, Salina Fieldhouse this Saturday night. But there's other matches on the card, and I want to talk about as many of them as we can here. And this is one that I'm really, really interested in. It's another title match, and this one's for the Heartland title. All right. You're going to have your challenger also representing that no good Empire, Ray Leone. He tries to come on here and talk a lot of shit on Wrestle Talk too, man. I don't appreciate it.
He was on just about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was talking he was talking about his match with Matt Sydal. Thought he was going to tear Matt Sydal from limb.
He ain't tearing nothing.
And he had his manager lawyer guy.
Yeah, Dick. That's who it was. It was Dick.
Yeah, and they didn't treat me the best. So
yeah,
I mean,
I know what I'm saying, man. But you know who they are friends with? They're friends with Rusty. So what's that say? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're talking about Mr. Richards? Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, I've had good conversations backstage with him. The whole Empire, I think they're misunderstood. Is all it is.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Misunderstood. I hope they missed their flight. I hope they missed their car service to the show. That's what I hope they missed.
No. I guarantee they'll find ways to get there. They'll find ways.
Well, I don't know why Ray Leon's going to be so hyped to get there because, bro, he's going against Paradox. And for those who don't know about Paradox, bro,
I'll jump in on this one here. Paradox, a phenomenal wrestler. A phenomenal KWA Heartland champion. He holds the most prestigious title here within the Kansas Wrestling Alliance and here within the Midwest. Paradox has about done it all within XWE. He's a young competitor, but in his young years, he's almost considered a veteran where he's at. Very experienced. Ray Leon, put them two in the ring. It is going to be a tremendous match up there. But you've seen video here on our XWE page of Ray Leon and his very intense trainings. It was actually me who went out there to Rancho Cucamonga, California, to one of his palatial estates.
I'm sorry.
Out there, they fronted the bill out there. I should say I fronted the bill. But don't scratch that from the thing there. But we went out there and we talked to Ray Leon, and he is ready. He's more ready than ever for this KWA championship matchup, the Heartland championship match. And I hear a lot of fans around the Midwest saying, well, I don't understand how he deserved that shot. If Ray Leon has done in his short time right here within the Kansas Wrestling Alliance and XWE so much, he has absolutely earned that number one contendership for that Heartland championship, and he's got his opportunity this Saturday night.
Listen.
Go ahead, Billy. Speak on that,
man.
buddy.
So I think what's going on is Rusty has his hands a little deeper into the KWA board of directors than he gives off. Because how can this Empire get a Heartland title match, a tag team title match, and a United Liberty title match all in one show? Please explain that to me.
That don't make no damn sense, bro.
Oh, hang on, I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. How this goes.
Here we go. You know what? Listen.
Okay, I won't say anything. Oh, I'm back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm back.
Man, I can't believe that. Road Dogg, listen, bro. There's a lot more to XWE. There's a lot of kick-ass, great professional wrestlers in XWE. That no good bums, the Empire, that's all they are, is no good bums, bro. And listen, I'm done.
Ray Leon hurt my feelings when he was on the show. So,
I can understand why.
And the Dick guy, he was
a dick.
Right.
You know, that's his name. He was a dick. You know what I mean?
And I beat him and he was mad at me because I beat him in the game show challenge at the end of the night.
Yeah, awesome.
I should be getting this title match. I beat Ray Leon.
There you go, bro. Hey, maybe you should show up as Drake's partner. That's what you should do. And then, you get that win and so on and so forth. But listen, I want to get done talking about buttholes, all right? Butthole wrestlers and stinky groups named the Empire and all that. You guys got a match over there at XWE Gold Rush this Saturday night that I don't know if the ring's still going to be standing when this is done. In one corner, you got Aaron Helms, and in the other corner, you got Remington Roy. Bro, I said it about a couple matches, and this one legit. Man, I said it about the tag team much, but this one legit. I don't know if the ring's going to be standing. There might be some chairs bent, broken when this is all said and done. Guys, talk to me about this. This is going to be one hell of a match, man.
The ring's been specially reinforced for this one. Nearly 600 pounds in that ring right there. And these two men are going to fight it out. Aaron Hell, he's never ducked a fight, and the Carnivore Remington Roar, he's never ducked a fight either, and he's always looking for some fresh meat in there, and it is going to be an absolute brawl.
So
Has been specially for this one.
So is this like Big E used to say, big beefy men slapping meat?
Yes, very much so.
It's gonna be that and all over the place in there. I'm sure the ring won't even be able to contain it that night there in the field house.
Awesome. Well, Billy, I want to ask you what if I would come into XWE as just for the first time ever, what should I expect as a fan at an XWE show? What will you give me?
So we're going to give you a great experience to begin with. All of our wrestlers take time for the fans, and it's an experience all together. The action is usually hot and passionate. We run 8 matches. We do a VIP match for the early people, and sometimes we have 9. But you're looking at about a 3-hour show with a lot of action and a lot of fighting.
To me, that's the best part about an independent wrestling show is you can go to a WWE show, but you're not going to get a chance to be up close and personal to the wrestlers. At an independent show, at intermission, they're going to come out. They're going to sign autographs. They're going to sell their merchandise. They're going to interact with the fans after the show. They're going to do the same thing. So it's a different experience, and I think it's a great experience. I know Rusty's been around for a while, and I think that's part of why he promotes all the independent shows that he does. Is it's a different experience. Am I right, Rusty?
Absolutely is. Absolutely. When you go to an independent show, no matter where it's at, but particularly like XWE, you develop a personal relationship with the wrestlers there, starting at the show and then continuing on. Everything just leads on to the next show as it continues on. It's a continuous situations that go on here in the XWE that keeps everybody's interest, but it gives you the opportunity to come out and get to know personally each one of the wrestlers. You get to meet them, you get to know them. You don't get to see that at a lot of the big promotions like that, and that's been like that for years. But that's the big key to independent wrestling, is the fact that you could actually physically get emotionally involved with each one of these wrestlers because you've met them. You might have met them before the show, you might have met them during intermission, but you had the opportunity to get to know these people and get to watch them as they compete in the ring there. That's a big key to independent wrestling.
And you also sometimes you see them shopping at a grocery store, shopping in a Walmart. I mean, I've run into several wrestlers that have said, "Hey, you know what? The weirdest thing happened to me. I was actually recognized inside of a Walmart, and that you can just see that in their face that they're happy about that."
Absolutely.
Billy, am I wrong in that thought?
No, not at all. When I bought XWE, myself and Mr. Curtis, I brought a lot of years of experience wrestling in the independents, and I took pieces from different companies that I worked for that I liked, and we built something that I'm truly proud of, and I know my partner's truly proud of. Rusty, look at all he does for us. He's truly proud of it. And we just want the fans to enjoy wrestling like we have always done. And 21 years, I still love this business from the day I started till now.
Yep. And you should be, Billy. And, and this is straight shooting from the hip here, man. You guys have created a family atmosphere, not only for what the show is inside the ring, but also behind the curtain too. You've done nothing but show me love and respect. You've let me bring my child to shows. My child has enjoyed it each and every time. Everybody who's working under that XWE banner, there's no one with a sense of entitlement. Everybody's in there to give a hand, to help set up, to help break down, so on and so forth. I've been around this business almost 20 years myself, man. Sitting around backstages at 15, 16 years old. And here I am as a 35-year-old man. And, from being backstage at CZW shows in Philly to everything in between, man. And honest to God, strike me now if I'm lying, man. You guys are one of the top, if not the top promotions that, again, family atmosphere and about making the show great. You know what I mean? Not just each other, in which they're going to do that, but the overall product of the show. From the moment these fans step inside the Salina Fieldhouse to the moment they walk out. You know what I mean? So you will always 1000% have a fan in me, no matter what, brother. You know what I mean? Whether I'm there cheering from the crowd and or whatever the case may be. XWE is my absolute favorite promotion today, and that's no bullshit. So I want you to keep rocking it and keep doing your damn thing. All right.
And that's the whole key to independent wrestling. You know, and I got started with years ago when Burt Prentice used to run shows right here in Kansas, and this is going back to about 1990, which is showing my age on it, helping at merch tables, taking stuff, you know, helping with that ring gear and different things. But he always said one big key is always find out from the fans, did you have a good time?
Right.
Did you enjoy yourself? That's the whole key to any show. And I do that even at XWE shows. I'll mingle around. I'll ask, did you have a good time? Did you enjoy yourself? I want to see them express their feelings, express everything they saw in that event, because you knew they got their money's worth out of that, and they'll come back for more.
Yep.
And I was gonna say one of the best parts for me is like if I'm walking around after the show and like a little kid like a small child comes up and is like, "Hey, can you go grab X wrestler, whoever it is? It doesn't matter. It could whoever it is." And you go back and grab them, and they're like, "They want to see me." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to get to know you on a personal level." So that's one of my favorite things.
Well, listen, fellas, I'm so glad you guys joined us tonight, and not only Gold Rush, but from here on forward, man. Just like Storm and Renee, all you guys keep doing is trending upwards, bro. At Salina Fieldhouse, every time XWE's on that banner, people are packing that place. You know what I mean? And you guys kicked ass in Leavenworth, and wherever XWE decides to park shop and hold a wrestling show, you know it's going to be great from bell to bell, from A to Z, back and forth. All right, So I want to appreciate you guys and tell you guys thank you so much for coming on. I'm sorry the Night Owl couldn't join us. He knew Rusty was going to be on here talking that trash about the Empire, and he didn't want to fucking hear it.
That sounds just right. As long as he makes sure he leaves that dime on the toilet lid every time he uses that there in the podcast office there. I guess that's all that's important.
So real quick, Billy, I'm going to give you an opportunity to let's shout out all the information that we need to know about XW Gold Rush this weekend, where you can get tickets, where we can find XWE on all social media channels. So I'm going to give you the floor for just a few seconds.
With that floor, I'll probably kick it over to Rusty. Rusty keeps up with all of that stuff for us. I've got two quick, small announcements that I saved just for this podcast. First, our VIPs get a special gift in an XWE string bag that will go to our VIPs. We will also have them at the XWE merch table. Second thing, unfortunately, Leo Fox cannot be in Salina, Kansas. Okay. He has a special obligation that he is going to fulfill, and I have granted him release to go do that. Therefore, tagging with Chuy Martinez will be D.B. Cooper from Amarillo, Texas, and him and Chuy are actually the top of Texas tag team champions. So another top team, even though we lost Leo, another person stepping up to bat, and the tag match should still be fantastic.
Billy, I got a question for you regarding that. Is this D.B. Cooper's XWE debut?
Yes, it is.
Man, spectacular, bro. Spectacular.
All right, well then I'll throw it over to Rusty. Rusty, give us all the information that we need for the show, where tickets can be bought, and all the good details.
You can go online right now to xwewrestling.ticketleap.com and get your tickets online. And I believe that'll be up until about Friday. And then after that, there'll be tickets available at the door. I'm sure the VIP will probably be all gone. They usually always sell out early on. But like Billy said, if you get a chance to be a part of that VIP experience, that's the one thing you want. You get great merchandise that are just exclusive to the VIP fans, and you get your own matchups there. There's a VIP exclusive match that will start early on, already at 5:30, and that'll be the Bad Brother and KJ Gold taking on Austin Reddick and Tommy Too Good. That's exclusive for the VIP fans that'll be there, and that's part of the ticket. You also have an opportunity to buy a Fast Pass ticket, which also gets you in just a little bit after the VIP, but you will get a shot at seeing the VIP matchup there. But xwwrestling.ticketleap.com is your outlet for those tickets. So get them now; they go fast.
I can believe it for what all Sonya said about KWA and the Selena Fieldhouse. It's a beautiful place. So we want to thank Sonny. I'll let you go ahead and close things out. I know you want to thank the guys from XWE and.
I'm gonna thank Billy, bro. I got nothing to say to Rusty. All that trash he was talking, I don't want to hear any of him. Rusty, I respect what you do, and you do great things for XWE. Everything regarding XWE. But listen, I'm not hearing that shit no more. I understand why the Night Owl has to take a Pepto-Bismol and everything when he's dealing with Rusty
with the guy with money in his last name. I could see that's the way you act like that too.
That's absolutely right. They call me money because I'm always money, and I bring.
That's all I need to hear. That's it right there.
Billy, do you have anything to say? I don't know. These two are fighting like brothers. So
I absolutely love y'all's podcast. Keep killing it, guys. Appreciate all the support and love. Rusty, his thoughts, we don't pay too much attention to that because you see where it gets to, and for somehow the Empire ends up with title match after title match. Sonny Money is always hot on the mic, so anytime we have him or Chris the Voice, we're having a good show. Come out, come support. Let's have a blast.
All right. Well, thank you very, very much. Check it out this Saturday night at the Salina Fieldhouse, XWE Gold Rush. It's going to be a great show. So, Rusty, I will say, Rusty, I thank you for joining us tonight. I don't think Sonny will.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
And I really do like your Friday post. I'm like, it's not a Friday until I see the. Shout out the posters for the weekend. So.
And feel free to reshare that all over to spread the word. That's the big key.
All right, Rusty, Billy, thank you very much. Good luck on your show this weekend. We hope that you have a good one and everyone comes out safe. So thank you very much. We hope to see you again real soon.
See you later.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Sonny, what's going on with you and Rusty?
Man, I don't hear, bro. You already know. You said Ray Leon was being an asshole towards you. You know what? Here's the thing. I was kind of understanding the way of the Empire. I was a little bit, just for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I had a bad cup of coffee or something like that. I don't know what happened. But I was feeling the Empire for a little bit. And then I got slapped, and I got woken up, and I got brought back to reality, and I realized not only the Empire, but the main attractions, too. Both them bum-ass groups, man. Both bums. I hope they hear this Leo D and Calvin and Ray Leon and Joey Gambino and Dick and all of it.
I want you to know.
I shouldn't even have to freaking announce them coming to the ring every time I'm announcing the next one.
I just want you to know that Rusty is still backstage, so let's
I don't care. I don't give a shit. You know what? About time.
That was a pretty good. In all seriousness, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you looking forward to XW?
Oh man, I can't wait, bro. Yeah, a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most. That's a 12. Yo, they put on a killer show. Listen, I've been to some shows and I got some friends on, and my friends are doing good in the ring, and but the show's kind of like, nah. Yo, I'm not lying. I swear to you on my kids. From bell to bell, XWE brings it every time. Whether in their Salina, whether in Leavenworth, whether they're in Wichita, it don't matter. XWE brings it, bro. They everybody on that card cares about the show and wants to have a better match than the other person did. You know what I mean? So it's great. I love XWE. I'm so hyped that we have Billy Simmons and Rusty on tonight, even though him and I don't see eye to eye. But yeah. So that's what it is, dog. That's what it is. So you know what? I'm tired of talking about it because my blood pressure's going up over here. I know I need a cup of coffee. So what else we got on tap for the episode 408, Road Dog?
We're hoping to have the Snippets of Truth segment here in just a few minutes, but Perry is not backstage yet. So I think on the behalf of both of us, let's take a pause for the cause.
Let's get it, dog.
I'm gonna throw on a little bit of music. We got about 3 minutes to come back, and that's all. We don't need any more than that.
Right? I don't need no more than that, bro. Let's get 3 minutes going, and we'll come back and we're gonna keep episode 408 rolling, baby. All right.
Well, let me take you off, and then I will take myself off here in a minute. We're gonna take a pause for the cause, so we hope that you have been enjoying the Wrestle Talk podcast here, and we will see you here in just a few minutes. Back with more of the Wrestle Talk podcast. All right, we are back with the second hour of the Wrestle Talk podcast. We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, episode 408. We just had a great interview with Billy Hamilton and Rusty Rex of XWE. I guess Sonny might have a different opinion of the.
I'm not going there. Well done. Hey, listen, XWE's a whole. Big shout out to all of them. I love them all to death over there. All right, even Rusty. I love Rusty too.
And we'll put this back up there because they do have a big show this weekend at the Salina Fieldhouse, XW Gold Rush. Some great matches. So go out and support our friends from XWE. Sonny will be there. He might sign an autograph or two if you want. So
absolutely, yo. You want me to sign an autograph? I need a cup of coffee. That's how it works. All right, Sonny money don't work for free over here. I need a cup of coffee. What are you talking about?
You would probably actually take. Well, I don't know if that would be smart for you to take someone that just brings you a cup of coffee and off of the.
What are you gonna do? I sniff Jersey in the summer. I think I'll survive. I'll be okay.
So before we get into the second hour, we're waiting for our second guest to come on to the show. So, but you know what? As we said earlier, we wouldn't be anywhere without our sponsors, would we, Sonny?
No, absolutely not. Why don't you throw them up on the screen there so I can rattle them off? Because I would love to do that. Listen, Wrestle Talk Podcast, baby, our wonderful sponsors, Royals Mills Transportation, my brother, my legit brother, DeJuan, Rathburn Engraving, Wrestle Talk Podcast mugs are just $20. Drop that 20 and get that going. Noble Men's Barber Lounge, KCMO. You better ask for Pete the Barber, Road Dog, when you come to KC and go to Noble Men's, all right? Kincaid Arcade at the fabulous Oak Park Mall. That's what makes the Oak Park Mall is Kincaid Arcade, though. Everything Combat with Pat Milicic and our boy Jay Hollywood holding it down in the comment section as he does each and every Tuesday night. I-70 Sports Media with the Maestro. Great job last week on hosting Maestro. And last but surely not least, the FWWC, the premier fantasy wrestling promotion on all of social media today, folks. Listen, those are our sponsors, and we would not be able to come to you every Tuesday night like we do. We wouldn't be at episode 408 if it wasn't for those fabulous sponsors. So please, 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 as much as we say go support the independent wrestling, and what you should do, go support them sponsors too, because they bring me and Road Dog together, and we make this thing happening and crackling every single Tuesday night. Right, Road Dog?
That is right. So I think the world really wants to know. Question: what's the coffee meter at?
We are on 6, ladies and gentlemen. We're on 6. Okay, so that's where we're standing there. We're holding off. Listen, man, my alarm clock is going off at like 4 a.m. tomorrow, so I don't want to be too wired. Usually on Tuesday nights when I host, I'm like, yeah, we're going to get them. And I am, because I love being here and I love Wrestle Talk Podcast, but I got to kind of watch it on this a little bit. Maybe maybe Splenda or something in the coffee instead of sugar. What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
So we're waiting for our second our guest El Primo to come on here in just a few seconds. So I guess we can continue with a little bit more. We can talk about a little bit more national wrestling, right?
No, absolutely. Actually, you know what? Before we kind of do that, I want you to do me a favor here, buddy. I sent you, and listen, I know our high spots question is over, but this is going to tie in. Let's do shoot and shout, okay? I got something to shoot and shout about, and we're going to tie it in.
Oh, okay.
A high spots question I sent to you, and I hope you're catching my drift.
I think I know what you want to talk about. So
yeah, man, there's something there that that I seen it on social media. I won't say who put it on.
So do you want to hear the shoot and shout theme? Because
let's get we got to do it properly.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is fun, everybody sucks. You don't really know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet's to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. It's all about the he says, she says bullshit. I think you better quit letting or you'll be leaving with the
I mean,
I love that, man.
Does it get any better than Limp Bizkit to interact in a Broadway in ragtime type thing?
Yeah, man. I mean, Roseanne Barnes with the anthem. I mean, we kill it with the high spots theme. We kill it with the shoot and shout theme. We're killing it with the music game over here in Wrestle Talk Podcast. I don't know anybody else killing it with the wrestling and the music all mixed together like that, but we are. I ain't worried about no one else right now. I'm worried about us.
Are we wanting to do you're wanting to do the local one, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Well, I'll throw that one up there, and I'll let you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the shoot and shout segment, and I will be shooting and I will be shouting on this but this was tied in with one of our high spots questions that we did not get to and we're getting to now. At what point does the line get drawn on people getting into a local show for free? Now, the reason I brought this question up is because I seen a local Kansas City wrestler, I will not name names, post this question online and had a good rant. And this is something that I feel nearly deeply about. Okay, the reason I feel nearly deeply about, I will give an example. XWE Wrestling. We just had Billy Simmons on. Okay, now when I go to an XWE show, I go for two reasons. Either one, I'm a ring announcer, or two, I'm a fan. Now, Billy has told me multiple times, hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the ticket. And I tell Billy, no, I am here as a fan and I am paying. Now, listen, I understand times are tough. But if you've got the gas to drive to an independent wrestling show because one of your buddies or your brother or your roommate is on that card, pay the money to get in, okay? Because, Road Dogg, you can attest to this just as much as I can. We know professional wrestlers who live and die by those paydays, okay? Now, I'm not saying not let the wife in or not let the kids in. I understand that each promoter is different and that, they have no problem with it. But for me personally, I believe that if you're in the building and you're not working on that show, if you're not paying for a ticket, then your ass better be at that merch table. You better be buying something from that merch table. You better be tipping those girls at the concession stand, so on and so forth. It drives me up the wall. I love professional wrestling. I love it. I love this business. I love watching it. I love talking about it with you on Tuesday nights, Road Dogg. But I cannot stand a fan who thinks it's okay that they can just walk into this local show and because they know somebody in the ring or the ring announcer or the referee, that they feel that they've got a right to be in that building without paying a dime. Bullshit. Pay the money.
Exactly. My brother was bringing a big group of people to the show before COVID, and then he got a new job that he can't be there on Saturdays. And the promoter let my brother in for free, and everyone else paid. So
right.
And he sent me a message. He's like, I didn't have to pay. That's weird. I don't feel right. I'm like, you know what you do? Go to the merchandise table, buy an Agents of Chaos shirt, buy a Mikaze shirt, buy something, just buy something on the merchandise table, and go buy some concessions and spend your money at the bar for the venue. So yeah,
Dog, there's so many times that I've been, not just at XWE. I've ring announced for a couple other promotions, and I'll get paid for doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That I'll turn right around and buy a T-shirt with that money I'm getting paid. Because again, there's a lot of guys out here in the professional wrestling world, professional wrestlers, managers, referees, ring announcers, that this is their only means of getting paid. This is it. I have a shoot job and I get paid well. But, dog, there's guys who are depending on that $20 to go to Buc-ee's at midnight to make sure they got food in their stomach. You know what I mean? So each and every fan in that building, if you're not paying the ticket, and the promoters to each their own, but if you're not buying the ticket, then at least be a decent human being and go to that merch table, buy that T-shirt, buy that whatever it is that they're selling at the merch table, and support independent wrestling. So that's what you're to shout, baby.
So our second guest is backstage and he is ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the introduction. He has been wrestling since 2018 for 4 years. He's trained at the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy, been all over the country, and he hasn't quite won a title yet, but you know what? We'll talk about that here in a second. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Wrestle Talk podcast, El Primo Hanio. I hope I say that right. Hold on, we should be. No.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. The intro didn't play. I didn't load it right. Oh, I failed.
Hold on, before we start, El Primo, please pronounce your name right, because you got a couple Midwest white boys here, and our tongue doesn't quite roll like it should. So please do not only us the favor, but everybody in the Wrestle Talk podcast, please properly introduce yourself, sir.
Well, my name is El Primo Genio Trebeca.
I got it pretty much right. I got it pretty much right. I missed the last one. So I want to thank you for coming on the Wrestle Talk podcast. We thank you for taking some time out. I'm sure you have a busy schedule with training and getting ready for shows and everything. So
I appreciate you having me on your show, man. So, and likewise with you, I'm sure you guys are busy too. So thank you for making time out of your day for me.
Oh, absolutely. We love delving into new areas because we're getting into the California scene. Thanks to two wrestlers you probably know, Savannah Stone and James Brady.
Yeah, great people.
Yeah.
Great.
I watched.
People, man.
I want you to know. I was at Savannah Stone's very first match ever.
Really?
When she was like, she wasn't quite 18 yet, and she was a star then, and she's a star now. She should be on the cusp of many national companies, if you ask me. Am I right in thinking that?
Yes, of course. Yeah, she's only getting better and better. I don't know how she was in her first match, but by what I see right now, she's like really good right now. So
awesome. So can you give us a little bit of background about how you started? What got you? Obviously, you were probably a wrestling fan back when you were a kid. So what got you into the business? What got you wanting to start training? Let's get the background story.
Background story. So when I was around 13-ish, my best friend that's my neighbor, he would be watching wrestling. He'd be talking about it. And, like, I would have to try to pretend, like, yeah, I know what he's talking about. Like, oh, yeah, I know John. Yeah, I know, like, Triple H. Of course, yeah. Like, oh, you like their finisher? Oh, yeah, the thingy, right? And so, like, I just started watching it to try to know what I was talking about. I would be watching it weekly, and little by little, it started to become a ritual to watch it. And, like, I was getting invested in it. And, like, I was like, oh, the match is over. And then they would, like, kick out. I was like, what the heck? Like, I was buying into like everything. I wasn't so invested into it. And like I liked how it made me feel like they weren't just regular people. They were like superheroes, and like they were flying and like doing moves in the ring that I've like never seen people do or ever thought that could be done. So like I just started falling in love with that, the characters, the wrestling, just it's like a whole different world on planet Earth.
You caught the wrestling bug, is what you
sure did. Yes, I sure did. Bug. Yep, unintentionally, I was like, "Oh my god, I love this! What is this, man?" So
you trained with Santino Brothers, and you still do because you wrestle for Santino Brothers Wrestling.
Always got to keep training, man. Training never stops.
Yes, you never want to. You can never stop learning. Yes. So when you first stepped foot into the wrestling academy, and they told you to take that first bump from on your back. I always like to ask this because everyone has pretty much the same story. Is like it's almost like your soul leaves you. Am I? I'm a wrestler. I've only been a wrestler and a referee. I've never taken a legit like back the one of the back bumps that are first taught. So I don't know how that feels. How did that feel the very first time?
I didn't know what to expect. Like. Even like hitting the ropes was a weird. Feeling it the first time was weird. Stepping into it, like, oh my god, this is where you wrestlers bump. So when we took our first bump, like legit bump, like my head was hurting. I was like, holy crap, do I really want to do this for a living? Like, you get used to it. It feels like a car accident. Feels like a car accident.
Woke up extremely sore the next day, probably.
Yep, whiplash,
sore knees, sore feet,
sore everything.
Back.
I was like, oh my gosh.
When I took my first bump, no one told me that I shouldn't have a chest full of air. So like I didn't do that, bro. I took a back bump, bro, and I was like I didn't know what to think, bro. I thought it was over. Like I thought I was done. I was like, I just fucked up right now.
Yeah, so. You got the wind knocked. Yeah, you got to breathe out, and it's like there's so much into like even just like bumping where people don't even realize like there's a way to breathe. There's a way to attack the mat. There's so much that goes into it that people don't even know. So it did not feel pleasant.
That's when they were telling me that, hey, we might have you take like a Vader type bomb from the big guy. I'm like, okay, that's okay. I'm like, do I need to know anything? He's like, yeah, if we do it, make sure as right as he's about to hit you, you just expel all of the air out of your body. I'm like, well, what happens if I don't? You probably don't want to know that.
Ooh,
so
man, no,
and you know exactly what I'm talking about with the Vader type bomb. So yeah.
So I gotta ask, and I hope you don't mind if I call you Primo for short. Is that okay?
No, definitely fine with
I
that.
hope not. But
No, of course,
so
that's
I gotta
fine.
ask though, and this is something I'm always interested in, and this kind of goes back to the start of the beginning of your training when you decided, hey, I want to get in there, I want to give it a shot and see what I got. What did your family think of it, man? What did your mom, your dad, your significant other, brothers, sisters? Was there anybody who was like, don't do it or anything like that? Or was it all support? I mean, how'd that go?
They were supportive. They were just like, make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into. And like, it took me like at 18, I made my choice. Like, okay, I'm going to try to become a pro wrestler. But it took me until like 24 to actually join. So I had my time to think. They said like, okay, like, you know, like I had to like watch like The Wrestler. I even watched like Nacho Libre just to like see what to kind of expect, you know, in wrestling. And like The Wrestler, watching the movie The Wrestler really like woke my eyes up. Like, okay, like I might end up like this, you know. But and like I was like, okay, man, just I'm gonna need to like just, it's very scary, but I want to do this and I'm not going to let anything stop that. So they were very supportive and they're still supportive to this day. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Because you know what? I've had a couple matches under my belt. I'm 35 now. So when I was about 17, and don't tell the Kansas and Wrestling license promoters here. Don't tell the athletic commission that. But I had a couple matches. I had about 5 matches under my belt, man. And then, you know, I think that was about my threshold. I kind of understood, like, I knew what the life was about. You know what I mean? I was a wrestling fan since I was a young child. I was going to ECW. I seen how these wrestlers were. Even as a young kid, I kind of understood, like, it's rock and roll, but that's a rough lifestyle also, bro. That's a lot of sleeping in cars and paying dues and not having money. And you know what I mean? You don't know where you're sleeping sometimes. You don't know when your next meal's coming. And you gotta struggle. You gotta strive for that. And, you know, as much as I love the wrestling business, I was also man enough to say, listen, brother, it's too big for me. I can't do it. More power to the guys who do it. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm on this side of the camera now and not the other side. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a struggle sometimes.
So do you remember your first match, who your first match was against?
Yeah, so I debuted for my school, Santino Bros. I had a fatal 4-way with Matt Vandergriff, Vinny Wasco, and Alec Tomas. So I ended up getting pinned. Matt Vandergriff, I was on like the top rope. He was holding me for like a body slam, and he did a backflip and he landed on me. But like I was like a whole year of training for like a 10-15 minute match. Like that's how long it takes, like all that hard work, all the hours put into it. And it came down to, okay, man, let's see how you do. And all that work for 10 minutes, you know, and like, that's how long it takes just for 10 minutes, man.
And all the chops that you take because you're the rookie in the match and you're having to take
chops, stiff shots, slams, everything.
You're the one. You're the one that takes all of the. The one that takes all of the heat in the match. You know, you take everything. You get a couple of minutes on the outside to recover, probably for the final spot. But you know, you're
I'm the dummy for the match.
Yeah, you're the crash test dummy for the match. So,
but I bet you walked out of that match with the high that you can't buy off of a drug from the street, bro. You know what I mean?
I was like, okay, this was not a training match. This was a legit match. Like, there was a crowd there. They were reacting how we wanted them to. It was. I had my entrance music, had my character. Like, it was all freaking worth it, man. So I had that high for sure.
So what made you come up with the name and the character? Is there anything significant that made the character development? Because you hear different things from different people, and people have an idea, and sometimes they bounce ideas off of veterans, and you know, like I've helped a couple people develop characters. I know people that have helped develop characters. How did you come up with the character of El Primo?
Well, before I get to Primo, real quick, I was doing a different character. His name was Hyde. Basically, I was trying to be something that I wasn't, like, with how I am. I'm Mexican. I have long hair. People are already going to be thinking, hey, man, you should be the pretty boy, the one that loves the Latinas or, like, the ladies. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I kind of don't want to be stereotypical. So I went the complete opposite. I was trying to act like I was possessed, like crazy. I had my long hair, so I was like, I could be kind of like Undertaker or something. Um, I like that ride, but in all honesty, if I want to be in the main event and be a champion, I need to be able to cut promos. And that character, if I was being real to him, he wouldn't be talking on the mic. He would just be making grunt noises. So
it'd be like almost early Undertaker if you think about it, like where Undertaker didn't talk, which is why they gave him a mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
They would have had
Kane. You mean?
No,
Kane
because Kane because his original name was Kane the Undertaker when he came out, and then they gave him Brother Love, and then they gave him
we're old guys over here, bro. So we're talking 1990, 1991.
I wasn't even born yet. I was in 93.
And you know what? Yeah. Even with Kane when he came out to Paul Bearer, I was at Kane's first official appearance in St. Louis.
Really? Oh my god!
At the very first Hell in the Cell, I was 3 rows back. So
the one where he was like, "That's gotta be
Kane." Yeah, I was 3 rows back at the time. I don't even know. It was probably Scott Trade Center or Kiel Center, whatever it was. St. Louis, 3 rows back. Seeing a wrestler that I knew from working when I used to work as a referee, get beat up as a cameraman. So it was an interesting show, and it's fun to see those kind of wrestling moments. But yeah, Kane didn't talk. Kane didn't talk forever.
Definitely, yeah.
And it was the same way when the Undertaker came out. When the Undertaker first came out, he didn't talk at all. He maybe said 3 words at most. So
right, he was grunting and did this eye roll and whatever. But you know what? Yeah, it was dope while it happened, but that's Undertaker. We're here with you, bro, and I want to talk with you. And we talked about the origins in the beginning and all that, and your different character. But now I kind of want to throw a curveball, and this is something that I really, really want to talk about here. So, championship wrestling from Hollywood. Let's talk about Lord Crew.
Oh, I don't know if we're allowed to yet because that episode hasn't aired. So
okay.
Yes,
okay. So everybody who likes championship wrestling from Hollywood,
please tune
in.
Yes.
Himself, tune in. Do not miss it. That's what we're gonna say, right? That's it.
Yes.
That's all we're gonna say. That's all we're gonna say.
It was one hell of a moment for sure, though.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
But if I can go back to how I came with the Primo Genio gimmick, just so that I could explain that one a little bit better.
Of course.
So basically, El Primo Genio, it's me times 1,000, which is the best way to if you don't know what kind of character you want to be in wrestling, you just got to be yourself times 1,000. So El Primo Genio, he tries to act like tougher than he is. He wants to pick fights. He doesn't want to be belittled. He's very ballsy. So like if he sees a woman he likes, he's going to be trying to flirt with her. He's going to try to do whatever it takes to win. He's a loudmouth. He has size on him with like muscle, but he can still be intimidated, and he's still a coward too. And it's just fun to be that character because like I want to talk back in like real life, but like you have to I have to settle down. There's a way life has to be.
Because people are honestly they're crazy. You never know who you're gonna. You never know. So, but as a wrestler, you can build on that. You're like I wanted to say this. There's stuff I want to say. I want to start going off on people. I can't go off on people in real life. I'm going to start going off on people in the wrestling business.
Fuck that. Fuck that. I kind of shit. Listen, I've been cursed I've had my nose broken in plenty. I don't get. Yeah, listen, when I go out, and I'm on my deathbed. I'm gonna still be talking shit because last I checked, we only get one life to live.
That's
That's
true,
it.
man.
So if
That's
I
true.
see someone fucking up, or if I see someone
Hmm.
who I don't agree with, or whatever, dog, I'm calling bullshit on shit. I don't care. You know what? My mouth has
I'm
got me
trying.
in
I'm
trouble a
learning.
lot. My mouth has got me in trouble a lot, but I don't give a shit.
How come that does not surprise me?
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be able to like not care what I'd say, but I mean, I learned my lessons from a lot of detentions and suspensions. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, man, I need to pipe down. So like, my mouth can get me in trouble, but like, it just being that character, it helps me to be myself a little more. But
Going back, were you one of the
Yeah.
kids in high school that got suspended because you bought a Generation X shirt that said "suck it" on it and wore it to school?
no, but like I would like crumple up like a detention slip and like throw it at the teacher, or I say like I would say
He's
like
shooting on the teacher.
yeah.
He's shooting on the teacher.
I would I mean anything from wrestling, I would be like, doing the Stone Cold, like doing that stuff, and but
You were
so,
the Austin 316 kid.
Austin and The Rock, like it doesn't matter what you think, and like, okay, get the hell out of my class, and I'm like,
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's great to relive the days gone by of because and honestly we wouldn't be here now if we weren't fans. I mean,
Definitely.
everyone wants to say that sometimes that being a mark is a
Bad
is
thing.
a bad thing,
Mhm.
but honestly, would any of us be here if we weren't? Like,
Mhm.
I mean,
We're the biggest marks, man. We
right.
got into the business, so
I mean, sometimes I've worked with people like Matt Seidel and Delirious here recently.
nice.
So I mean, yeah, they're on the national stage, but they're just like everyday guys. But they're willing to help out. So it's just like, I mean, yeah. Do I have like star moments? I've had star moments before. I mean,
Hmm.
way back in the day, I worked a show with Mabel, who is also Viscera, as part of the
Hmm.
So that was kind of cool. I've worked with Bob Orton before, so
Okay, nice. How was
so
that?
oh, Bob Orton was a really nice guy.
Yeah.
This was back when I very first started, so yeah, he was a good guy, and and he's still Bob Orton's still around here locally today. So I
Yeah.
mean, one thing I want to talk about. You've had some altercations with Kodo Hero.
I sure have.
Let's delve into that. Do we need to put you on the couch for this one, or to like delve into the psychology of it? What was the antithesis of this? What started this whole thing?
Honestly, what started it was like even before I was El Primo. When I was Hyde, I was on a roll. Santino Bros was actually having their student shows, which was called Up All Night, and I was on a roll. I wasn't winning, but I was winning the hearts of the students. So I was still getting over without getting over. So like just on a show, he ended up grabbing a chair and like hitting the back of my knee, which messed it up. And he threw me in the ring, and he ended up putting my leg through like the chair where you sit down and where your back is laid up against.
So basically crushing your knee, like we see so many
he
times.
jumped off the top rope and he like stomped the chair, and my leg was in between that. So like I was out for a bit because of that. So and it still carried on to when I went to with El Primo Genio. Even like in training too, with Kodo Hero, there's some stuff here and there. But I had a 6-man scramble at Santino Bros. I ended up winning. And when my back was turned, Kodo Hero actually got like a kendo stick, and then he hit me in the back, and he repeatedly was hitting me. And like Kid Bandit had to come in and like try to like stop him, because like there was no reason for that.
Okay, so you brought up a name that's like really popular right now.
Yeah.
Kid, can we talk about Kid Bandit? He's
Sure.
like super super young and super new to this business, but he
Mhm.
has taken the world by storm. What's it like being in the ring with someone like that, like Kid Bandit?
Um, I mean, he started from like humble beginnings too. You never know what your wrestling journey will take you in. Like you said, he's been in the business for like little less than a year, and he's like blown up. And that's all it really is. It just takes one opportunity, and if you grab it by the neck and you take advantage of that, and you can soar. Um, when I'm in the ring with him, like he's like humble, he's hardworking. There's stuff that he can work on, but like he's really quick at
He,
learning. So
and he's got something that you can't teach. He's got charisma, and you can't
mhm,
you can't teach charisma. So I mean, I've seen him on Twitter, and he's just, for everything that he's put up with everything. I mean,
mhm,
he's like he could be a big star. It's going to take him a little bit to get there, but I think
mhm.
and
He's
he's
on the
really
right path. He's on the right path. So.
good in the ring for being as young as he is.
Mhm.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong in thinking that?
No, absolutely not. Plus, he like gives back, which he doesn't have to. Like he grabs a couple of the students and like gives us like, hey man, if you want to work here, talk to this guy. If you want to work here, talk to that guy. If you need help getting into somewhere, like I can try to do what I can. So like, it's not like he's just leaving us in the dust, which like that would be okay too, because wrestling, you don't know anything other than like the people that have trained you, and hopefully the people that have had your back, but even people that have like whose backs you've had end up leaving you, but like you just can't expect anything. So it's really nice for to know that I can like count on him. So
and
like
and and
you
and,
know,
and, and being only in the business for the short time he has been
mm-hmm,
in,
definitely,
that's something that some veterans don't even do. You know, that
yeah,
some veterans were like, I don't want to give up my spot. I don't want any new people coming in
mm-hmm,
to steal my
mm-hmm,
spot. But
mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to have fresh talent come in, or else, as they would say, the territory gets burnt out.
Mm.
So
I actually wrestled him at a fight night. It was up all night, but then they canceled that and changed it into fight night, and I wrestled Kid Bandit, and like he had me on my toes. I ended up beating him, but it could have gone either way. So like I've been wrestling for like 4 years, and he's only been wrestling for like a year. So for him to be able to like
do
keep
the
up and almost beat me, like that says something. So I have been working hard after that, so
so so
harder. So
so you started in 2018.
yeah.
Obviously, you had to deal with the whole pandemic thing with
Oh yeah.
shows being canceled and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. How did you keep sharp in the wrestling business during that time?
That's actually when I dropped my hide gimmick and came up with El Primo. So I'm a pandemic baby. That's what I call it. Literally, man, I had all the time to think of new logo.
And that was probably the
Name.
best time to do it, because it's like,
Yeah.
if you're going to be gone for a year or so,
Mm-hmm.
why not come back? Why not be reborn as somebody
Definitely.
else? So
Yep.
did you stay They still did training and
So,
everything, and
they were, yeah, my school did online classes. So we
mhm.
would, it would be like, I don't know, like 6 weeks of it, doing like promos and then ring psychology, match psychology, watching matches. There's homework. There's probably like 3 classes of that happened in the pandemic, and I took each one of them. I would be studying wrestling. I would be watching wrestling, taking notes on it. Like writing down every single thing that happened in a match. Like I learned a lot from watching Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels. Like one of their best matches that they had. I forgot which one. Like it was a pay-per-view, but like really like just sitting down and like freezing it and then like writing it down and like reading it, like, oh, that's why the crowd was here and there. And like I did that with various of matches. So it really like made my IQ get higher. So I came back like like I started out like, oh, he's got something, and I came back to like, oh shit, like this guy
Yeah,
got fucking better. Yeah.
And being here locally, being part of a company here who has a dojo, a wrestling school.
Yeah.
I was in the group chat, and they were like, the trainers were like, okay, so since we can't work on everything all the time, I want you to work on your psychology. They give the trainees a match to to go watch on YouTube. And I would even do it. I would even look at it and be like, you know what? This is from a ring announcer's point of view. This is from a referee's point of view. So, I mean, and I don't know if it helped or hurt or anything, but someone, as I said earlier, you never stop learning in this business.
Definitely not. And like the more you study, there's like things that an untrained eye can see than like a fan can't see, so like you can see like little stuff. You're like, oh, they didn't go to this spot because they did this, or like how they got into it. It's just like, oh, he's getting like the turn, the turnaround is happening right now, but it's like what happened before, like what little thing happened that actually made, it's just so much that goes into wrestling.
There's so many little things that people out that are just fans don't see.
Yeah, it just flies right over them.
And
it's like, dude, that was brilliant. Like you see it, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, like I have not been doing that. I need to do that, So
yeah, honestly, yeah, it's great. I mean, I think the pandemic may have made some people better because they were able to watch people and be like, not. I mean,
it definitely helped me to be better.
I noticed that when it came to pro wrestling with the pandemic, I noticed that there was two kinds of people. There were either people who got better or there were people who dropped off. Because and those people who dropped off, maybe just my opinion. Again, my mouth gets me in trouble sometimes, but they didn't have that love for the game, bro. They didn't have that eye of the tiger. They didn't want to get better. You know what I mean? You had all that time to sit there, and you were locked down in your house. So you could either turn on Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels, or you could have just sat there and whooped in your willows and said, the world sucks right now.
There was a whole WWE network that people could have watched.
Yeah, man, that helps so much, man. It's a shame they sold it to Peacock and then they made it like shit now, dude.
Right.
Man, there was WCW on there, like fucking wrestling shows that I didn't know about,
and it was an easier search button. You could just pick.
Oh yeah,
that's what it was.
Hey, I want to watch.
Peacock still has it all now, but now it's a pain in the ass to watch it. And like, if I'll have certain matches that pop in my head, like, oh man, I want to watch this Eddie Guerrero match. It was in the middle of the card, and trying to rewind. It's just a pain in the ass now, man.
You can't find it, man. Especially like on YouTube, it's like, yeah, man.
Yep. So listen, I kind of got an oddball question here because we're getting nervous about your career. So actually, this is kind of a two-parter here.
Okay.
Here in a little while, I know we're going to get to the game show challenge, so I want to make sure I get
this okay. You ready to lose, huh?
Don't get
he is already talking smack on you.
You better, just get out there, all right? Just chill out, because you don't know who you're doing in the game show challenge over here. But I do got a question. This is kind of a two-part question, and I like to ask this to professional wrestlers when I'm at shows, if I go to training, so on and so forth. But I like to especially ask it on Wrestle Talk podcast. So this is a two-part.
Okay.
One, what, in your opinion, is the greatest advice given to you since you've been in professional wrestling? And two, what is the best piece of advice that you think you could give to aspiring professional wrestlers or people who are even in the business today?
The best advice I got when I entered pro wrestling is keep your mouth shut and your ears open. And the advice that I would give to people after being in the wrestling business, was that your second question?
Yeah, either people want to get in the business or people already in the business, it doesn't matter. Like, what is your advice that you would give out to somebody? And if someone came up to you at a show and was like, hey man, give me something.
So I would tell them, don't get frustrated on yourself. Keep going. Don't quit, because it's only the people that quit that fail. Like, if you keep going, you're gonna end up somewhere in this business. So like one of my coaches says, I only like I was dumb enough. I was like too dumb to leave, so that's why like I ended up like reaching the heights I did. But yeah,
Right.
yeah. I
And,
might have butchered his saying, but
yeah,
that's what
something
he
along
says.
that line.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
what? And I lead into another question here. You're talking about reaching the heights you did. I mean, how high do you want your ceiling to be, Primo? I mean, where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in this wrestling business? Do you have the aspirations to be WWE, AEW, tied into a contract? Do you want to just travel and do the independent thing and maybe Japan? I mean, where do you want to go with this thing?
Long term, for a long time, I wanted to be a WWE wrestler, signed, be the WWE champion, be one of like the main people.
Right.
Wanting to be like the next like Rock. Like I know you shouldn't strive to be like someone else, but just like in that like category of like,
Right.
oh, the main who's like, who do you know in like wrestling? Oh, like The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, like Shawn Michaels. Along those lines. As I started being in the business more and more. Uh, it's opened my eyes to like New Japan Pro Wrestling, which I've actually have had some hand in, like doing like building up the ring. Like I've been doing ring crew for them. I've had that opportunity to do
Because
that.
they have a dojo in
They
California.
have a dojo. I've actually done tryouts there, seminars. Um, I've somewhat. I've been given the opportunity to actually train with some of the young lions. So like I'm not trying to like showcase myself, but like that's like super unbelievable that's like a regular like me was given that opportunity, like to be in that place,
Bro, hey,
Showcase it.
that's what you
Showcase
want
it.
Wrestle Talk Podcast Hour 2, Episode 408 for, bro. We're here to put you over right now, you know? That's what we're here to do, baby. We want your star to shine, dog, That's
I mean,
what it is.
I've been putting in the work training with one of the young lions, so like I've been able to step in the ring, take bumps, like have training matches in there. Like that's just huge, and like at that place, like not a lot of people can go in there, so like on their wall there's like all these like autographs of like wrestlers, New Japan stars that have been in that dojo, and it's like fuck, like I want to like one day I want to have my like autograph in here too, honestly, like in a perfect career I would want to be in like Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, WWE. I want to cement my legacy everywhere in wrestling, and be like one of the main people, main characters, main stars there. And it's gonna take a lot of work, but that's what I want. If I mean, a perfect example is like AJ Styles. He was pretty much everywhere except AEW, but like that's the kind of like accolade I want to have. Like I can't see me not trying to strive for that, but like
Yeah.
I'm working my way up there.
You have to sometimes you have to bet on yourself
Yeah.
to like if you think about it, Cody Rhodes bet on himself when he left the WWE because he had a contract there, and he left the WWE. He went to Ring of Honor, he went to New Japan, help start up AEW. So sometimes you just gotta bet, and now he's back in the WWE. I know he's injured right now, but I mean, he bet on himself. So sometimes you just have to bet on yourself. And we hope to see you on some of the dojo. Doesn't New Japan do the Dojo Wars shows? Am I wrong?
It's called New Japan NJPW Strong. So that's like if I were to work for them one day, hopefully it would start there. Because like there's some students, like some colleagues of mine that are actually on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, like I don't know if I'll get in trouble saying it, but like their stuff has been out. Jordan Cruz is on there. Lucas Riley is on there. Like one of my coaches, Tyler Bateman. Brody King, which is an OG like alumni from Santino Bros. A lot of other people, like Shea Cabrera, fucking Tito, Badu Tito, and like all the people that are like on like New Japan. I've at least like met them, talked to, been able to like watch their work up close, which is cool too with doing ring crew. I'm like have the best seat in the house because I'm like right there and I'm like watching their work and I'm like
And
know?
that's all part paying your dues to like.
Yeah.
I mean, even on the smaller independent shows, is like, you know what?
Hmm.
Set up the ring, set up chairs, set up the guardrails, set up, help set up merch tables or whatever,
Hmm.
set up sound, and then at the end of the show, help tear down the ring, tear down the chairs if need be, because
Hmm.
not all buildings will tear down chairs for you.
Hmm.
So
And
I
not
mean,
all wrestlers or people know how to put up a ring or put down a ring. So when there's a wrestler that knows what they're doing with, like, how to put a ring up or down, it just makes them that much more valuable. Like, oh, okay, maybe we should book this guy because he knows how to, like, fix this chain or fix the ropes. Like, I don't even know how some of this stuff works. So, like,
and I found many times that, hey, someone shows up to help set up a ring, and it's inevitable with every show something happens with
hmm,
at least one or two people on the card. Is like they have car problems, they get
hmm,
sick, their kid gets sick, their wife gets sick or whatever. If you're I was always told to bring your gear to
yeah,
every show, even if you're not scheduled.
oh
You're
yeah,
just kind of helping out. Maybe you're doing an early seminar with a wrestler,
hmm,
and you're helping set up the ring. You're doing the seminar, and you're just like, I'm just gonna chill out and watch a good night of wrestling. You know what? If something happens, you might wrestle. You might have to wrestle under a mask or something, but it's still ring time. So
that's
I
your
mean,
foot in the door. That's the way you're getting in. So,
the two things I was always told: bring your gear and have a mask gimmick, just in case,
mm,
because you never
hmm,
you never know what you're gonna need. So
I need to get a mask gimmick for sure. Then,
and,
yeah.
and,
I
and the
always
fun,
bring my gear though, but
yes,
that's how a lot of
that
my
that's
bookings
that's
happened.
that's like rule one is always bring your gear,
Yeah.
because if someone's like, hey, do you have your gear with you? You can be like, yeah. It's like, can you do a match real quick for us? We had
Hmm.
and that could be your foot in the door in that company. So I
Hmm.
mean,
Yes.
so all right, Primo, I got a
Hmm.
question for you.
Yeah, man.
I
Shoot.
know you were warned about this.
Oh yeah.
Every week we do the Wrestle Talk podcast game show challenge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nah, dog.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I already know
Ooh.
about Cali, all right? Y'all got that trash ass In-N-Out burgers.
What
The
the
Raiders had to get the
In
hell
and
out of
Out
there.
burgers are the
All right, the
best.
Dodgers ain't doing
The
shit in the
heck?
World Series
What are
this
you
year.
talking about,
LA
man?
Kings ain't been shit since Gretzky's been around.
Stop
Oh my
it.
God!
Stop
Listen,
it.
Okay,
welcome to episode 408 of the best damn live pro wrestling podcast in the game today. You, my
so
friend, this ain't the New Japan Dojo. You ain't stepping with no young
Mm.
lion, dog.
so
I'm
I've
uh,
been ready to level up, man. Let's
I'm
do
so
it.
telling
so
you,
so
and I come with the money every single time.
so
Okay,
so
let's see.
so,
Let's see.
Primo, can I just say, Sonny's from Kansas City, Missouri. He's a
Mhm.
Kansas City Chiefs fan. I don't
Mhm.
think I need to explain anything else.
Yeah, yeah.
Wrong
Yeah.
time out. I'm
Yeah.
from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All right,
No,
Jersey
Mm.
that's not any better.
Yeah.
That's not any, you
Listen,
all threw batteries at Santa Claus.
it's
So
East Coast, West Coast, Bad Boy Records, Biggie Smalls, and all that jazz. All right. I love Kansas City. I love the Chiefs. I live out in Kansas City. Kansas City's great. I love the Midwest. It's a lot better being out here than being in that trash ass state of California. So I'm about to tell y'all
oh
what
no,
it's about
oh
Hey.
on Wrestle
Hey,
no,
Talk
that
oh,
Podcast
California
episode
weather is
408.
looking real good right
Primo,
now, man. Like 77 degrees right here. Oof. Feels
whatever. I don't
great.
give a shit, bro.
The beach is like 30 minutes away from here. Oh,
Man, I
man.
ain't worried about all that, dog. I ain't worried about all that, dog. So,
y'all, can I get the official opening of the game show challenge? Because
Yeah,
obviously
man.
you were both ready. So
Oh, I'm ready. Let's
I was born
go.
ready, dog. He might have. I was born ready.
Ah,
That's what it is on me.
I was fighting already out of the womb.
all right, so this is going to be a trivia challenge. It's going to be best 2 out of 3 falls. I'm
All
going to
right.
give you 3 questions on a wrestling topic.
Mhm.
As soon as you know the answer, you can shout it out.
Okay.
And tonight's wrestling topic is I will give you information on 3 professional wrestling personalities that are from the great state of California.
Jesus, Mary,
Okay.
When you think you know the individual, shout out the answer. The first person to win 2 will be the winner. So,
Alright.
Sonny, are you? Well, I don't even know why I'm asking this question, but Sonny, are you ready?
No,
every
he's
day,
not.
every day.
No,
Every
give him
on
some
Sunday.
time. Give him
Oh,
some
my
time to get ready.
Oh, Primo, I know you're ready, aren't you? You're
Oh,
always
yeah, I'm
you
ready.
you stand ready all the time, don't you?
I'm freaking ready, man.
All
Even
right.
when I'm asleep.
man, this has been a lot more crap talking before, but before that, I don't think I've seen this kind of crap talking before.
Yeah.
So, question 1: This professional, and like I said, when you know the answer, shout it out, and I'll hear who it is because you both have distinctive voices. So, this professional wrestler was born in the state of California. After years on the independent circuit, she can be found on SmackDown. Since her arrival to the WWE, she has been known for driving a tank and having green hair.
Patsy Blackheart.
Ah, damn it. Yep.
Oh,
Damn it.
Sonny,
I was gonna say it.
that's one, Sonny.
Ah.
Primo, you probably had some interactions with Shotzi, haven't you?
I unfortunately have not, but like she's wrestled on indie shows that I've been trying to get on. So colleagues of mine have actually wrestled her. So man,
She's been avoiding you, dog, because she knew you were coming on Wrestle Talk podcast and we're going to really make funny money. She don't want to be around that business like that, big dog. So
Okay.
you didn't know what's going on here is 1-0, like how it was
1-0. Oh well, sheesh. Thanks for the recap.
All right, back as the referee and me has stated. Back to your corners.
Okay, all right.
We're gonna do number 2.
All
right. This late WWE Hall of Famer was born in California, but hailed for many of years from Reno, Nevada. After leaving Stampede Wrestling, he went on to form a Hall of Fame tag team with his brother-in-law, Bret the Hitman Hart. Oh, Sonny won number 2.
Damn it!
Okay.
You know what? I think the mic was like off or something.
Oh,
like, hello, can you hear me? Hold on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, here we go.
All right, Primo, please answer this third question. We're gonna give you question 3. Please don't make it a sweep because I don't think I could handle Sonny for the rest of the
ego, man. It's growing huge, man.
Boy.
Can't have that. Man.
Boy.
All right, question 3. This is just for pride now, Primo. This former WWF WWE wrestler was born in California, but was billed from Mobile, Alabama. In addition to multiple tag championships,
Hardcore Holly.
This not the Mario theme song.
Man, hold on. Sonny, I hate to do this, but we do have winners music, so well, that's not the right one. There it is.
You know what it is. Play that song, Big Joe.
Stop. No. No. Stop. God damn it, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, baby. And my streak continues, ladies and gentlemen. My streak continues on the Wrestle Talk podcast. Challenge. We bring you the guest. I give him the roaring elbow.
Stop it. Stop
all right?
I demand a recount.
ECW represent. XPW wasn't shit out there. Game Show Challenge winner as per usual, as per course, so on and so forth. But hey, in all seriousness, that was fun as shit. Primo, I personally want to thank you so goddamn much for coming on Wrestle Talk podcast, man. And as we do with each and every guest, I'm going to do 2 things here. One, I'm going to officially welcome you and tell you that you are now a part of the Wrestle Talk podcast family.
Thank you
And
so much,
two,
sir.
as you're making your exit, please, 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 please tell us where we can find you on social media. Drop all your social media handles. And please tell us about any upcoming shows that you're going to be on. Fans out in Cali are going to go down there, go see you. They're going to be like, yo, Sonny beat you on Wrestle Talk Podcast.
Oh no! They're gonna forget that.
Sonny!
Nah,
But
it's out.
seriously, I want you to drop your social media handles, man, because I know there's going to be people following you on Twitter, adding you on Facebook, so on and so forth. But there's going to be fans in Cali who are going to see this interview and yo, they might want to become a wrestler because of what you told us tonight on Wrestle Talk. So drop your social media handles, man, and tell us where we can find you in an upcoming show.
So my wrestling handle, I made it real easy for all of my peoples. It's El Primo Genio. So El Primo Genio is all together, and you can find that on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and which other one? I think I said TikTok already. So yeah, on all social media platforms. This weekend. I'll be trying to be doing Ring Crew. I'm not on the show, but I'll be try to be at Rival on the 26th. For that week, that's the only one. But for next week, I'll be on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I'll be trying to go back to MPW. If you follow me on my social medias, that's where I'll be posting what matches. I post every week where you can be finding me at. So I appreciate Wrestle Talk podcast for having me. It was very fun to be here with you, Sunny Money, and sorry,
Road Dogg, my man Road Dogg. That's my man Road Dogg right there,
yes,
bro.
sorry, sir.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to be
Big
sorry about,
Sexy,
bro.
my
Road Dogg,
man.
hey, Road Dogg's known worldwide. All right, trust me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
We appreciate you being here. We're happy to break into the California game. We want to thank Savannah Stone and James Brady for helping us break into there. I'm sure they said many good things about us here in the Midwest. That you never know. We might need to bring you to the Midwest. So we got
man, definitely.
We got some connections in the Midwest. I know Sonny does. I mean.
No, absolutely, bro. I'd love to have you out here, or even if I make the trip out to Cali, because I'm going to have to do that. I do got some family out there. I got some monies over there in Cali and Arizona. So I come out there, I'm going to tell my old G's, yo, we're going to this wrestling show. El Primo's about to kill it in this ring, and we're about to be entertaining this shit, man. So listen, please do me a favor. Please continue to do what you keep doing right now, all right? Because you are on the right path. Keep training, keep that mouth shut, keep them ears open, and continue just to keep giving them blessings out in the pro wrestling world, man. You're doing what's right for this business. Again, thank you so thank you. Thank you so much for coming on Wrestle Talk Podcast, man. And again, one last time, welcome to the family, brother.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And I hope to do it again, man, sooner than later with both of y'all's.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We hope to see you again real soon. That's El Primo, El Primo Genia. Follow him on all his social media channels. We'll post that stuff on the Wrestle Talk podcast too as well. So we thank him for coming on. That was a fun interview. That really was. That was a good interview.
Oh, it was great, man, and I knew it was going to be fire, bro. That's what we do at Wrestle Talk Podcast, baby. We bring that heat. You know what I mean? We always bring the good interviews. We try to interview everybody from all over the United States, not just the Midwest. Him being in California is the example. So, Road Dogg, this has been a great show tonight, bro. I always have a blast co-hosting with you, along with everybody else. But I have a blast co-hosting with you, man, and I hope you feel the same.
And I'm still kind of, like I said, I'm still kind of new to this whole backstage thing. So
that's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
But we made it through. We had a good time. It was good. It was good. We didn't step on each other. We didn't, with the exception of me being on Zoom, pretending like I don't know what Zoom was for two years because
don't worry about it, man. Small potatoes, bro. You know what I mean? But listen, this is one of my favorite parts of the show. Before we depart, Road Dogg, I want you to tell me about what you got going on this upcoming weekend, wrestling-wise. If you have anything, what shows are going to be over there in the St. Louis area? Tell me all about that, man. I'm going to drop my Kansas City thing here, and we're going to peel out.
Well, I have nothing this weekend because NWA 74 is in town, so
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to hit that up this weekend. But the next event that you'll probably see me in the crowd at is at NWA with the Fight for Destiny, which is the women's title tournament, which will have some Kansas City people come out, Stormy Renee and Shy Lynn.
Yeah, man.
Including our own Ashley Alexander and Maddie Exodus and Riley Knox, and there's also going to be a bonus entry. I don't know who that's going to be, but we'll definitely be keeping you up on that. Dynamo Pro returns to you on Saturday or Friday the 23rd. We got a double shot weekend. Friday the 23rd will be at the Arnold Eagles Club for back to school. And then on the 24th, we will be at the Concordia Turners Hall. And then on September 30th, we will be at the Grafton, the loading dock in Grafton, reviving our Ride on the River event.
Yeah.
So I mean it's a busy time here, and there's a lot of other great events. SICW's got an event.
Shout out to
PWE,
Hood Simmons.
yes, PWE's got events coming up. We've got a bunch of events coming up. And Glory Pro. We got Anarchy. We got some of the best.
See, and I keep telling Night Out, man, we got to make that drive over there, especially before this Midwest winter hits us and smacks us in the mouth like it does every winter.
And you know what's gonna happen because I mean,
yeah, you know what's coming. So, but listen, we got to get out there as equally as much as you guys got to get over here, man. And I wish you were here this weekend because not only over in Salina do you have XWE Gold Rush, and shout out to Billy Simmons and Rusty Rex for coming on in hour 1 of episode 408 for discussing that with us. Big shout out to them. I enjoyed that interview a lot also. So that's this Saturday night, but also this Saturday night is Central States Wrestling Horseman Country.
Is that the one with Arn Anderson? And
that is the one with the main event of Ace Steel and Brock Anderson, managed by legendary WWE Hall of Famer, member of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson, going against Jeremy Wyatt and Vic Capri. Now, listen.
The Ice Pick.
Ice Pick. That's right, man. And listen, bro. Hey, man, if you could split me down the middle in two so I could be in Salina in one half and Central States in the other, I would do it in a heartbeat, all right? Because those are two shows you do not want to miss. Do not want to miss. So if you're not making that drive to Salina or you're not on that other side of the state, and make sure your ass is in Overland Park at CSW Horseman Country, all right? So big shout out to them.
I don't think we need two Sonnies running around.
No, we don't need two Sonnies running around. PIW had enough of Sonny last week in Lawrence, Kansas. PIW, Jason Mortis, D. Canson, everybody shout out over there. I was in the building. The youngest Money Mayo was in the building with me. That was a great show. PIW, those guys have been on Wrestle Talk podcast before. They're part of the family. They put on a great show in Lawrence, Kansas, home of the KU Jayhawks. So, yeah, there's a lot of great wrestling on my side of the state. There's a lot of great wrestling on your side of the state. So, as has been the theme of this show and each and every show, please go out and support your local independent promotions. Please support our sponsors that we've ran across the screen. And please just continue to support Wrestle Talk podcast, and we'll continue to bring you an excellent show each and every time. Right, Rodar?
And that's right. We're gonna, and you know what? We're gonna do it again next week. I don't know who's gonna be here. It could be you. It could be I don't know. I mean,
hey, don't worry about it because 409 is gonna be just as fire as 408 and 407 was, and 410 and 411 will be the same way. We just keep this train rolling, baby. We just keep it rolling. So listen, 408's in the books, Road Dog. It's been an honor to do this show with you tonight. Shout out to Billy Simmons. Shout out to Rusty Rex. Shout out to El Primo. Even though I whooped you in that game show challenge.
Oh, God. You're never going to let that go, are you?
No, sir. And as long as I keep winning, that ego's just going to keep getting more and more and more and more. And I'm going to be drinking out of my Bucky's coffee cup while I'm doing it and enjoying it. So everybody in the comment section, everybody who shared, liked, posted, thank you so much. Thank you for making 408 special.
And for all the people that are going to watch us, you know, they're going to hit us back up on YouTube and catch the show because they couldn't catch it live. So
yep, absolutely. Big shout out to all those people. Big shout out to you, Road Dog. I love you, buddy. Thanks for tonight, man. It's been fun.
Sonny, it's been a pleasure. I want to thank everybody for joining us for the Wrestle Talk podcast, episode 408. We will see you next week. Hope that you have a good day. and I will see you at the matches.